Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, and we're recording today's show on Saturday, and this is May, 16th. And we are here at the New Leaf Event Center, and you are watching us on our new YouTube channel at City of Conneaut Public Access. And with me today is, I want to call you an icon here in Conneaut,
Well, it's because I'm old, maybe.
Dave Anthony. If you don't know Dave Anthony, then you haven't been around Conneaut for years because you're the man, the myth, and the legend. How's that sound, Dave?
Can be, you know. I worked in the car business in Conneaut for 35 years.
Yes, you did.
Still helping out there, train some salespeople, and sell some cars to family and friends. So yeah,
And a great salesman you were. I think you even sold Pete Guglielmo some cars.
I sold him a few.
That
Yep.
had to be a chore.
It was one. He was one of the most pleasant experiences of my life.
Is that right?
Loved that guy.
Now,
Swear,
you got to tell
not
me he
because
tried to
it's your
Jew you
father.
down.
He always jewed me down. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He says, I'll give you a bushel of tomatoes if you come down about $20 or something.
Every time he had a problem with his car, he'd call me and say, Davey, I got some onions for you. So I go, I know what it was. He'd give me some onions, and I had to show him how to turn the radio on again. But no, your father was, I'm telling you, one of my top 5 of all time older people that, you know, you learn a lot from these people because you watch them, and most of them, like my father, didn't have a filter. And that's the true person there, you know. And people can make up stuff, and they, you know, you can tell when they're not really telling you the truth. He always told the truth, whether you liked it or not.
Well, just before we went on the air, you were telling me about when my dad was an umpire down at Slow Pitch.
Oh yeah.
And he really wasn't an umpire. He was more of an entertainer. Fans would go down there just to see him.
Absolutely. I didn't miss a game, even when we weren't playing. I'd go just to watch him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've had one lady down there tell me, I just come to laugh.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's fun. Oh yeah. I remember the one thing. Maybe we're getting a little off here, but I'd play left center field, and the guy hit a ball, and I jumped and I caught it, and I don't think it short hop, but it was close. So everybody's waiting for him to make the call, and I start running in and threw the ball to the pitcher, and he comes and meets me at the pitcher's mound and says, "Davey, did you catch that?" I said, "Hell yeah, Pete, I caught that."
All right,
You're out.
Yeah. I think I do remember
The
that
other
one.
team was mad. Oh, they were mad.
Oh, what about, you remember Steve Grant, of
Oh, yeah.
course.
Oh, yeah.
The powerful home run hitter right down that
Very
foul line all the
powerful.
time.
Always pulled the ball. Yeah.
Well, my dad very rarely called people out on strikes, but he did call him out on strikes once. And Steve Grant turns around and says, "Strike 3. What do you think Pete says? There's no strike 4.
That's right. That's right. He says, "If you come here to walk, you're here. You're not here tonight." He
Yeah.
says, "You shouldn't be here."
I brought Dave Anthony in today to talk about a lot of things. The Browns, the Cavaliers, the Guardians, his own sons who played for Conneaut High School, have children of their own now, and yeah, a lot of things we're going to talk about. But Dave, let's talk about the boys now, Chris and Michael. Now, Chris was part of that great basketball team in the mid-'90s.
95.
What do you remember from that great squad? I remember Chris making a big layup in a tournament game at the end of the game.
Well, you know, there's a lot of moments because that was a special team. You know, that team started out playing basketball in our backyard every night, and good group of kids. They used to call Clyde Laughlin all the time. Clyde was principal at Lakeside now, Chestnut Street, and asked if they could use the gym. They wanted to play basketball every night. So Clyde would call me and say, "Hey, if you want to take responsibility and go there," he says, I'll let him do it. So we would take turns. Myself, my wife, Gary Pape, Melanie Pape would take turns because these kids would play for hours. I mean, they didn't want to come home. It's supper time. They're playing basketball. I had the privilege with his team and my younger son Michael, their team when they were in 5th grade, 6th grade. We did the travel team. And I had, these kids started out, these travel teams, you get these kids together. These kids were ready in 5th grade. The only one, Tony Lyons, I remember,
He came out later in his career,
well,
didn't he?
Tony Lyons, when he came, he was one of the tallest kids in 5th grade that I've ever seen. He was tall and thin, and but he'd never played basketball before. So he would shoot the ball underhand when the free throw.
Is that right?
And I'd say, all right, we're going to shoot some shots, and he would throw it underhand. I said, Tony, that's old granny style, and I says, we're going to teach you. So I brought a couple of guys in that played. Joe Swagunski, was somebody that he would come and watch us because he was like a year ahead of them, and he would sit there. But he was a bigger kid too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bulkier.
Bulkier,
Yeah.
yeah. Then I had, I don't know if King Heinen.
Mhm.
Well, that's my niece's husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some of the big guys come in, and they just worked with him by himself. Rebounding, just shooting 3-foot shots. And he says, Coach, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. I don't know. I said, the only thing you need to do is jump, catch the ball, and we'll show you how to throw outlet passes. And I said, you got to work during the summer. I can't teach you everything right now because we don't have the time. We're getting organized to play games. But to make a long story short, he worked on it. That kid, I went and watched him play. He ended up playing for Gannon University. I don't know if you know that.
I did not.
Yes. He started out a little slow at some schools in there, but he went to Gannon, and I watched him play, and he did very well, and he developed. I think he played a little bit overseas too. But with Chris and those guys, Mike Pape's our next door neighbor. Danny Coxon lived a few houses down. You had all those guys, Jason Tharp, Tom O'Connell, Travis Hayes, these guys. They'd come over, and they would play basketball until 11:30 at night, out in my backyard. But, that's something, if you're going to get to that next level, that's what you have to do. And these kids, you do it during the summer. You don't do it, everybody expects the coaches to teach them everything. Well, guess what? They don't have time for that.
Yeah, then you always hear basketball players are made in the summer.
They are. They're made in the summer. That's what and football too. You look at the kids now, both my boys are fortunate to play, all those sports. My youngest son, Michael, played football at Baldwin Wallace, 4 years there. My oldest son, Chris, played basketball and football at Teal College. We went to every game, never missed a game. Snowstorms for basketball and all that. But, that's the good times. And those kids, all of them worked hard. And you couldn't if you didn't get to the gym by 5:30,
Forget it.
you couldn't get a seat.
Yeah,
it
forget
was
it.
great.
Now there's all kind of seats.
Now you can sit anywhere. I sneak in and just sit there and watch, and I kind of critique. I coached for 27 years, Chuck. Basketball, football,
I guess I never
soccer,
knew that part. I did not
baseball.
know you did that.
Yes. I was down at COYO. I was president of COYO, president Downtown Coaches Club. So for many years. But, all the coaching, and you watch these kids develop, and it's special, So people that, you look now, and sometimes, they're begging for coaches. And it's the same thing. My son, Michael, his kids are in the Copley school system, and they don't have a problem with coaches. They've got people lined up that want to coach there. And I don't know why it's different, but it is a bigger area, But,
And that does make a big difference,
Yeah.
too. More kids to draw from as well.
Oh, yeah, and they have programs down there. My grandson who's 6, Dominic, and then Stella's 8, and then I have Francesca's 4, she's just coming up. But the 2 older ones play basketball, and they have a league, and they play every Saturday. And they play at this church, huge church. They've got, I think it's 6 floors where they play basketball. And they're, of course, they're like the short of their half court because the kids are younger. But they start 8 o'clock in the morning, and they go till 5 o'clock at night. And they play games and games. They have the cheerleaders. They have the announcer, and I'm not saying that because is you. I swear to God, if you would come, because my son Michael mentioned it, says, "Doesn't this guy sound like Chuck Guglielmo?" I said, "Yes, he does."
Oh, boy.
He
Don't
announces.
let Bob know that.
He announces.
Poor guy.
He announces really, I mean, he announces every game. And before the game, they have spotlights on these kids individually, and here they come and Dominic, Anthony, and they come out on the floor, everything's dark, and they got the spot, and they introduce all these,
That's
all these
fantastic.
kids, and they keep score, and they've got officials, and I mean, it is run so well, I've never seen. Now, it is, when there's a timeout, half times, the big screen, it's going through the religious stuff. You know, people take what you want from that, and they don't force it on anybody. They put it up. I think it's wonderful. I mean, it's a great program. But my sons grew up. We tried to teach them the right way. Sports can keep kids in school.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
And
I mean-
your boys did they were great, not only on the athletic fields, but in
They're
the
good
academic
kids.
rooms too.
Yeah.
But Chris, what, close to 50 now?
Chris is
Am I wrong?
you're right. You're right.
I was thinking that because he
Oh, yeah.
played around 90,
Yeah.
mid-90s, right?
Yeah, he was born
Oh,
in
my
1976.
I remember when you were getting ready to turn 50.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. But yeah,
And Michael would be what then?
Michael's 42.
Wow.
But
Wow.
Chris lives down in Franklin, Tennessee.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought he
right-
was here in Ohio.
No, he's right down by Nashville. He's 20 minutes from
So
Nashville.
you do a lot of traveling.
As much as we can. But he has 4 children. His oldest daughter is Gabby, and she's in her second year at the University of Tennessee. Has a daughter, Leah, and she's a junior, 17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Then they have Carter. Carter's in 9th grade. He's about 6'1" and is a great athlete. They're all very intelligent. I want to put that out first because
Unbelievable.
academics comes first. That's the way it was in our household, and that's the way it is with our kids too. And the youngest one is Blake, and he just turned 13. So Chris is traveling. They have travel soccer, and he's coaching, and he's just crazy busy, but he loves every minute of it, and but they're doing really well down there.
Good for them.
His wife is Megan, Megan Redmond from Conneaut.
Does he get back home at all?
No, they were coming back until COVID hit, and after the COVID thing, well, the kids were a lot younger, so they could travel. Now, they just have too much going on. They've got, one kid playing here, one kid playing here, this one doing this here, and he said it's just, his weekends are just crazy. So it's hard for them to get away, but, we do the best we can. Now, you got the computers, you got your phone, you can do video calls and all that.
You know how to do all that, Dave, at your age?
Yes, I do.
Good for you.
Because my sons taught me how to do it.
Yeah, I have to go to my sons all the time. How do you do this? How do you do that?
Now it's the grandkids, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah, them
The
too.
6-year-old, he grabs my phone, and he's going, "Here, Pop, I hear you." I'm going, "What the heck?" And the one that's 8 years old.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
amazing. But they grew up with it, so.
Yeah.
But anytime Chris comes into town, give me a call.
yeah,
I'd
we'll do
love
that. We'll do
to
that.
hook up with him and see Michael as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's in the Cleveland area or Akron.
They're in Akron.
Akron.
It's called Copley. It's right. Copley's just a little, but it's a really nice area. He was living in Fairlawn, which was 10 minutes away, but Akron is 10 minutes. He's right. Beautiful section down there. In the high school, you could actually ride a bike there. The Copley High School. And I go down there now because, of course, they got me a Copley hat, Copley Indians, but they got the same colors as Conneaut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So you can kill 2 birds with one
Well,
stone.
yeah,
there.
I wear the hat with the C on it, and they think, but yeah, they've got a great school system down there. The kids love it, and they have so much more there, because it's bigger. They have the big Olympic-sized pools, and it's just crazy the advantages that they have in the bigger cities. So.
Yeah, that's incredible. Like I say, whenever they get back into town,
Yeah,
have them
do
hook
that.
up with me.
Yeah.
And one more thing on that before we move on. The team that Chris played on, that basketball team, though, that was a special team. Those don't come around very often.
No.
And Ken Houston, their coach, was very new in Conneaut at the time.
Yeah, he came from, I don't know where he came
I think
from.
around the Akron area too, didn't he?
I'm not sure, but I know he was, before he came there, he was coaching girls basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, he come here, he was very organized, very motivating as a coach. But, those kids were seasoned because the reason I brought that up, they were, I'm talking third, fourth grade, these
Yeah,
kids.
they were just.
I'd have to, I live next door to my aunt, I'd have to call up, I say, hey, Aunt Vic, these kids want to play basketball. She goes, yeah, I love hearing that ball bounce. I said, at 11:30, 12, we'd have parties, they'd stay at our house, and they'd play basketball. I'd sit out there like a goof cooking hot dogs at 11:30 at night, but hey, I knew where they were.
That's
and
the
they
important thing.
They were dedicated.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get the point across.
Yeah.
Those kids, that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So they did very well.
Dave, let's stay with basketball now. Let's go on with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Devastating loss for them last night. They had a chance to close out that series at home. They did not play well. Now, they say you got to tip your cap sometime to the opposing team, which I don't like to do that.
Well, who does, Chuck? But you got to give them credit.
It seemed like Detroit out-hustled them,
Yes.
was more aggressive,
Absolutely.
and the whole series long, they just seemed faster and more athletic than the Cavaliers.
They're a lot younger than the Cavaliers.
Well, that that too.
The thing is, it's one thing to have the experience. Sometimes experience is really good, but sometimes that means you're a little older. They've got a lot of life on that team, Detroit. They won 60 games this year.
They're number one for a
Number
reason.
one, yeah. And if the Cavs play their game, Donovan Mitchell's got to play good. We can't turn the ball over. James Harden turns the ball over way too much. He does have some fantastic games though, 30-pointers with a lot of assists. He can draw a foul like LeBron James used to draw fouls, and that's big. But
Yeah, but when I look at James Harden, if he gets 30 points, then you got to look at the other side. He turned
yeah.
the ball over 8 times, and then
Right.
the other team scored 15 points. So I'd like to deduct 15 and say
that's
you had
exactly
15
right.
points.
That's exactly right. But he does have, he's a good veteran to have on that team.
Oh, you got to
but-
have him on there. Yes,
But
no question.
If I was coaching, and I'm not a professional coach and don't claim to be, he needs to be off the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't need to be handling the ball. He can shoot the ball, but you got to put somebody out there handling the ball. I don't care if it's Donovan Mitchell. I don't care. They have a few other guys that can handle the ball. Schroeder. I think he's underused. He's got a lot of pep. Ellis they picked up too. He's got that. He's a point guard. I think those guys, and it's a little, now you're not going to change everything, but playing Harden off the ball where he's not dribbling all the time, because there's a lot of one-on-one. I don't know if if people pay attention, but there'll be times you go down and you just see them dribble. They're standing there, dribble.
Too much dribble.
5 seconds, and then they hoist the 30-footer. That's just not basketball in my book. The transition type basketball I like. You're running. And
Yes. If you watch them all season long, though, nothing is really surprising in the postseason. They never could defend a 3-ball all year long.
No.
And they still have trouble doing that. And their interior defense, for having 2 big, tall guys, Detroit's out rebounding
Yeah.
them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They got out rebound I think by 20 last night. It doesn't make
You
sense.
coaching the game, though, turning the ball over, not getting the rebound, and they're not a very good free throw shooting team either.
Not at all. But the key, you're looking at Evan Mobley. He's an all-star, but he got a little taste of shooting that 3-pointer. Okay, now he's out there begging for a 3-pointer when he should be getting a rebound.
Good point.
You know what I mean?
Dave Anthony, that's a good
I'm
point.
serious.
That's why I brought you in here this morning.
I'm serious.
No, that I never thought of that, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he can be 3-point happy.
Yeah, and he can, and that's good. You're out here, but you leave one guy.
And he makes a goodly number of them for being a big guy.
His percentage isn't that high, but he does. He can. He made a couple big ones in these playoffs too. But if he's not inside, they're going to get beat. But he can jump. He's a heck of a defender. Jared Allen, he had that one monster game, but you know, as they say, some of these guys, like last night, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, they're on a milk carton.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means they're missing in action, like the little
Yes.
kids they used to put on the milk
Yes,
cartons.
yes.
You know, the pitcher and they're missing. Donovan,
Well, you look at that Cleveland Cavaliers team, Dave. You got two superstars
right?
in Donovan Mitchell and James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are all-stars. They're not superstars,
No.
but they're all-stars.
Absolutely.
Detroit has one superstar,
Yep.
Cade Cunningham.
Yep.
Most people don't know who the other people are on that team.
Right.
And they have outplayed the Cavaliers.
They have. Now, the team we beat them at home, they had a guy missing. They had one of their
Yes.
main puzzle parts, Duncan, missing.
Yes.
And they took advantage of that. But, I mean, I think he was in double figures, 14 points, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a big deal because he's a guy that's got a lot of energy, too. So
You think they're going to win Sunday? I kind of have that
I
feeling
think they're
too.
going to win. Yeah,
But I think they're going to need to have defense, and when they take these, they're a three-point shooting team, the Cavaliers. A lot of them just started falling.
Right.
They're going to need, Mitchell's going to need to have 35 to 40 points.
Right. And the thing is, you know, Cunningham is the main guy.
Yeah.
I think he only had 21 points.
Yeah, they shut him down in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, but then you've got the guys that make up the difference, and you know that's a
Role
lack of
players.
Yeah, lack of defense on our side. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you picked them to win Game 7. I do too. I just
I
got
think
that
so.
feeling. Did they
I-
say 5 o'clock or 8 o'clock?
well, they haven't decided.
It's one of those
yet.
times,
It's one
though,
of those
right?
times. Well, you know, of course, San Antonio won last night, so
So that wrapped up that series?
That series
Oh, then
is
I bet
wrapped
it's going to
up.
be 8 o'clock
So
at
now
night.
we're
They'll
gonna
put it
see.
in prime
Right,
time.
right.
And it's, of course, going to be on another streaming app. It'll be on Prime Video, which is making a lot of people unhappy that don't have those apps, and I don't blame them.
yeah. I mean, I don't blame them either because during the year I don't watch. I can't watch the games. I
Right.
watch them on my phone.
Right.
Because I do have Prime Video, so I'm kind of happy when they're on there. ESPN and sometimes, of course, Channel 3, Channel 5, you know, they'll have them on there.
Well, that's what the National Football League does.
Oh, yeah.
When the Browns are on those apps, a local station will pick them up, but I guess the NBA doesn't allow that.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's the
Yeah.
NBA. Yeah, it's nothing local.
What do they say, Dave? It's all about the money.
It's all about money. It is. It's all about money.
It's true.
And if you get to that, they pay these players too much money. That's just my opinion. And I sometimes, you know, hey, if you're making $50 million, you can afford to have a bad game. I don't believe that, but yeah, that's the way it is.
Let's go to Dave's favorite sport, the Cleveland Browns. I got some hopes for them this year, Dave.
Well, you know, I always have hopes, you know, and the last 2 years, they've drafted well.
This year they had a great draft.
Well, last year they had I mean, when you can get starters out of those, you know,
Like Schwenzinger.
Schlesinger, yeah,
Is that how you say
yeah, Fannin, Schlesinger,
Yeah.
and of course,
Fannin, a great tight end.
oh yeah, I mean
Mason, what's his name? The guy in the
Graham,
line?
Mason
Yeah,
Graham
Mason.
from Michigan
Mason.
there, Quinshawn Junkins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the key this year, I think, you know, if the Browns are going to be successful, they're going to have to run the ball. So Junkins got to be healthy because you know, you've got him. They've got the little scat back Dylan there, but you know, quarterback situation. That's the key. But you know, a lot of people, well, you know, everybody, this group likes Shedeur Sanders. You know, over here, I don't know if they like anybody else. They just don't like Shedeur Sanders because of his family and you know the way he went into the draft and his father said he's going to pick his team and all that. That puts a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth.
Watson going to play this year?
Watson, now this is my prediction, and I said this from the beginning. First of all, make a point. He's going to make, what, $65 million in that area? Not to be. Is he going to sit on the bench?
No, he's going to start. In my opinion, he's
you
starting.
can't sit him on the bench.
If he's healthy,
And-
he's starting.
And guess what? He's going to win the job because he's the best quarterback they have.
You know Mary Kay Cabot.
Oh, yeah.
She said if he's healthy, he's gonna
And, you know,
he's gonna start.
the Browns have to start. I mean, even if it's close, they have to start him because you don't want a guy $65 million being a coach. You know, you can't afford to do that. Get him out there, see what he can do, make him earn his money. In the best case, they're going to win games. You know, in the worst case, he gets hurt again, and the insurance pays his salary. So, I mean, that's a fact. Though.
Right.
That's the way it is.
Right.
But Shadur Sanders is going to be a good quarterback. But he's like taming a bucking bronco.
He did an admirable job last year. Nothing spectacular.
No, he did good,
But he didn't make himself,
he went into
horrible.
a new system.
Yeah.
He didn't make a he added a dimension running the ball, and he can move out of the pocket. There's a lot of things that he did well. Dylan Gabriel, he's not a bad quarterback, but I never thought he would be a starter in the league. I always thought he'd be a good backup because he has some spark too.
Too small.
Yeah, he's too small. He is.
See over those linemen.
It's really hard, but you see a lot of these small quarterbacks making it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Russell Wilson, all the years he
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
And, you can go back and there's still a lot of guys. Drew Brees, how tall was he? He wasn't very big.
No, and neither was that guy from Boston College years ago. What was
Doug
his
Flutie.
Flutie.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at him.
I met Doug Flutie.
You did?
Yes, and I was 2 inches taller than him, and
Wow.
and I was 5'9", pushing it, and that's the truth.
Pushing it.
That's the truth. I'm
Really?
serious.
Where'd you meet him at?
Well, I was down at the Super Bowl in New Orleans, and my brothers lived down in that area. Went to the Super Bowl. We were on Bourbon Street, and there was Doug Flutie and his wife was taller than him. And I said, "Gee, he looks pretty tall." And I was with Joe D'Annunzio, Dr. Joe, and
Dennis, yeah.
yeah, my brother. And my brother goes, "He's standing on the curb." Walked over there, I said, "Doug Flutie," to shake his hand. He stepped down from the curb, and I like this. He's looking up at me. I'm going, "Oh my God, he is small," but true story. But yeah, the Browns. The main thing with them the last few years is their offensive line has been horrible, absolutely horrible. Now,
And a few years ago, that was like their strong point.
that was their strong point.
Yeah.
But as everything goes, they got old. The injuries, Teller and those, some of those guys, they just were hurt all the time. Joe Bitonio was the Iron Man on that team, as a lineman. That guy played a lot of games, and it was hardly ever hurt. He played hurt, though. Some of these guys stub a toe and they want to be out 6 weeks. The real football.
Darius Garland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The real players are going to go on the field because they want to win.
Yes. Yes.
And what's going on with Joe Bitonio? Do you have any idea?
Still hasn't made a decision as far as I know.
Because they brought in a lot of
I think
free
he's
agents.
going to be there.
Yeah, they brought in a lot of free agent linemen. They drafted really well. Fano is going to be.
Great draft.
Yeah. They've got
KC Concepcion, or however you say that name.
Concepcion, yes, of course.
He threw out the first pitch the other day.
Yeah, he did.
He's just, it was an A-plus draft in my book.
Yeah.
So we got to give it to Andrew Berry there.
Well, no, I do. Last 2 years, but I think we have a better leader in the coach.
And Todd Monken.
Yeah, Stefanski, the guy was coach of the year two times. But they kind of set him up to fail when they weren't drafting very well when he was there. They didn't have, they had Nick Chubb, and then Chubb got hurt, and then they was like panicked because they didn't have a running game. You know what I mean? And they just band-aided all these big holes, and it just.
I wanted to give Kevin, the benefit of the doubt for all those years, but just his post-game conferences drove me crazy by saying the same thing. We got to get better. I got to coach better. Yeah. Well, why aren't we seeing it then?
Yeah, it's
constantly. It was the same. He needed a tape recorder instead of saying that all the time.
I'm in a group. Myself, Kerry Gerdes, Ed Sompy, Jerry Orlando. We've had season tickets since they've been back, and we have group text during all the Browns games, and then after, and I think it was Kerry Gerdes goes, "Well, all he's going to do is hit that play button. He's going to say the same thing," and we
gotta
crack
get
up.
better. I got to coach
thing.
better.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, he wasn't a real motivator in the locker room, is what I've heard. Mm-hmm. But he may have been, maybe he lost some of that power of making decisions. They've got a strong owner. Sometimes that's
very
good.
Strong.
Sometimes that's good, and
Very
sometimes
strong.
they can get in the way.
Well, yeah, and I think he's one of those owners that can get in the way. But I'm thinking that's starting to turn a little bit, and he realizes it
Well,
now that he's getting in
That's
the way.
what I'm saying. I think this Monken probably took the job because he's going to say, hey, I need to run this team the way I want
Yeah,
to run
exactly.
this team. So,
Well, speaking of injuries, Dave,
mhm.
on the Browns,
Mhm.
can we ever keep Denzel Ward on the field for 17 games?
My my opinion with Denzel, and I've said this for a few years, my buddies will attest to it, needs to be put in a bubble, okay? Because he can make a tackle and then he's done for 5 games.
Yeah.
Because he's got the concussions. He's had, I think, 6 or 7 concussions. And he's like borderline. Do you really want to play football or do you want to be a goof once you quit? Because he's had his head scrambled. But if you look at him, he's the best cover guy we've had for a long time that I can remember. But he just gets hurt all the time. I mean, it's always something with him. And
Always
I don't know,
something, yeah.
ankle but his concussions bother me. He's just
I want to ask you about a couple other guys and get your thoughts on them.
Mhm.
The kicker, Andre Schmitz, is it?
Schmidt. Yeah.
I'm one of those people that after he missed that kick on opening day wanted to fire him. He went on and had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
Did he not?
He did. He had a wonderful year. But it's tough because you watch this, the kickers. My sons both kicked in college. So they're going to have those days, and it's not a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental thing.
It is mental.
It's very mental, and it's like my son says, Dad, it's between the years. He says there's just sometimes he says you start overthinking things, and that's when you're going to screw up. And that's a lot of pressure for these young guys.
And to his credit, though, he went on to have a fabulous
Yes.
campaign.
Yep. He
So I
just
got to give it to Kevin there because he says I'm going to stick with him.
yeah, and I'm sure that was his decision. Because we lost a lot of games because of missed field goals, missed extra points in the past years. So it's
How about the
crazy.
rookie play of, how do you say it?
Schlesinger.
Schlesinger.
I never even heard of him, and I'm a college football person. I follow college football, basketball. I cover that. I love watching that. Those kids play their heart out. With the NIL now, it's not so much as fun, and I think it's all about money again now. But, well, I'm just saying, I know we could talk
It is.
for hours, but
I mean,
it's just,
It is.
I think they opened a can of worms there. But Schlesinger was the biggest surprise I've seen in years because
He was tremendous.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, he
Did
was
you ever hear of him?
Nope.
Before?
No.
UCLA linebacker. I'm
Just
thinking,
tremendous. Also tremendous, I thought, was Krishan Junkins.
oh,
Is it? Did I say
Quinshawn.
that?
Quinshawn.
Quinshawn.
Quinshawn Junkins.
I'm glad I don't have these names from the high school
Yeah,
pronunciation.
But yeah, Quinshawn Junkins.
Ohio State, right?
I loved when they got him. He runs with. He's a mean runner.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to run around you. He's going to run through you, and he's fast, very quick. He's got the moves. Smart kid. But
Who's the other runner I'm thinking of? Ford? No.
well, they had Jerome Ford.
Yeah, but there's
He's
somebody
gone.
else I'm thinking of that ran the ball a little. It
Corey
looked pretty
Dillon.
good. Yeah.
Wasn't it Corey Dillon? I don't know. Maybe it's not Corey.
There's somebody else.
Dylan
Look,
Sampson.
That's a
Sampson.
He looked pretty good at time.
He's got the speed. He was a great
Yes.
college player.
Yes.
He's small. He's
Yeah.
5'10", 185 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's a good scat back, catch the ball out of the backfield, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Of course, Mason Graham and Miles Garrett, we
Oh,
know that
gosh,
they're dynamite. Jerry Judy, too inconsistent for you?
Jerry Judy for a number one receiver, no. He drops too many easy passes, and if certain teams know they can be physical with him, he can't take that. He does not like being, met at the line, okay, face to face, and the guy's going to smack. He's done. He doesn't have that presence. I mean, and you look at some of the guys, some of the best receivers are on Cincinnati, and look at some of those guys, and look at they're not that big, but you got to be tougher. But he just dropped too many passes for me. David Njoku was another one. He's gone now, and he only got a 1-year deal. He didn't want to sign with Cleveland. Thought he'd get a 5-year deal somewhere. He got a 1-year deal.
Chargers, right?
Yeah, he dropped too many passes. You know, the only thing I remember about him, and I met him once in a restaurant at Cheesecake Factory
Boy.
in Cleveland. You know,
Oh, are you
And-
getting autographs?
Yes, for my grandkids. Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, no, but for the grandkids. But and Njoku started out. I mean, was hungry. Now it's all he did was he'd go out. It's 20 degrees. He's got his shirt off, running around the field before the game. You know, and that was. I said, save that energy for the game. Then he'd get in the game and he had the fiac. You know, he'd catch 2 passes and he'd drop 3. So, yeah, it's just, you know, I think they're building the team better now.
Yeah, definitely.
But-
I think also, we talked about their great draft they had.
Yes.
One of those guys I think we're going to really like is that Spencer Fano. Also threw out a first pitch the other night.
Yeah, not very well, but he threw it. I was waiting for him to
Not
zip,
a sport.
to zip it in, but he, yeah, but yeah,
He's got a personality.
he's a great. And
Not that that's going to win games, but I mean,
Yeah.
the media is going to love him just because of his personality.
I watched him in the combines. Okay, I don't know
did
if you
you?
watched that or
No.
not. But I watched. My wife says, "Well, how come you're not watching the quarterback?" I said, "Because we don't need a quarterback. I'm watching a lineman because that's what we need." And he was my number 1 pick. I said, "This guy here has got it."
Yeah,
Oh.
I think I like
Yeah.
everything I see about him.
Well, so far, and then his brother's on the team too. They picked up his brother. His brother's
What's
the
his first
defensive
name?
end. I don't remember. But look it up.
You have that problem too, you don't remember?
Well, I mean, you know, he wasn't an impact. He was like a free agent or something, but they picked him up. So now he said he's having fun because he's blocking his brother, you know, and but his brother's pretty darn good. He's no slouch.
No,
so
he's
he
not.
might make the team, but
Yeah.
you know, he might make the practice team too. So
Tight end Harold Fannin Jr.
yes.
Uh,
What a steal.
solid catcher.
What a steal.
Isn't he?
What a steal.
Seems like he catches everything.
He can, you know, the guy, he's a wide receiver, you know, in a tight end body. He's, you throw it up to him, he's made some great catches. And he makes the easy catches. He dropped a couple, but everybody's going to drop a couple, you know. But he was the biggest steal. He's another guy. Toledo, right? I didn't know. Yeah, I never heard of him. They're picking him, and I'm going.
I only know that because my son went to Toledo.
Right, but I do the draft, and I have the draft books and go through, and you know, we do all that crazy stuff. And I saw him, and you know, after, and I'm looking. I said, "Geez, oh man, this kid had some stats. This kid is, you know, a stud." But they knew more. You know, I mean, they really. Whoever scouts for them really did a great job.
Yes.
Because they're picking these,
Yes.
like I said, Schlesinger and you know, who's going to pick him? You know, out of UCLA, you know, and then the kid out of Toledo, Fannin. That's some good work there.
Like you
That's
say,
some good work.
steal.
Yeah, that's still.
Grant Delpit, the safety.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
You know,
You like him?
I like him. I like him. He's, I think he's a better tackler than he is cover guy, but I like him. Yeah, I like him.
Now, you mentioned earlier, before we get to the schedule release that came out, that you go to a lot of the games, you and a group of guys have these season tickets. Take me through the experience of what the atmosphere is like, because they haven't been good the last few years.
Let me tell you what. We tailgate. That's the thing that we do. That's our main
Over at
thing.
Muni?
No, we go. It's called Voinovich Park. It's right behind the Rock Hall.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a big parking lot, and it's right on the water. If you see the ships, the Good Time 2 and that, they dock right there. And we tailgate there. And I'm the cook. I bring the food. Guys bring this. And the people just are, I mean, you got to be a real football fan to follow the Browns. Let's face it. Okay?
They say it's what the fan base is
But
incredible
it's crazy.
and loyal.
Loyal is
It is still the
The
most
loyalty.
popular team in Cleveland, despite their losing years.
I know.
I mean, by far. The
Yeah.
other two teams aren't even close.
No, but it's so much fun. The people just are so happy, and it's like like a release, like they just come out of prison or something, because they have so much fun, and we've met so many people. I sold cars out of going down there and tailgating and meeting these guys from Cleveland and Madison and Menor and all this. And, when you get in that stadium, there's just this aura when you get in there. And it's just a roar all the time, And it doesn't have to be a packed stadium to do that. But it's really an experience. We had a chance to bring two of the grandkids there a couple games. And they were just like, because they got the music going, and I mean, it's just so vibrant, and it gets you charged up, Yeah.
You like the fact that they're going to be going into a new home in 2029? Or
No.
do you like the fact that you
Well-
want to be on the lakefront?
There's good and bad to that. The bad part is I probably won't be able to afford to go to that dome, The prices are going to go up.
I'm sure.
They
yeah.
have the PSLs. They're talking $5,000 per seat in some sections, and that's you're getting out of the common person's price range. But the dome in Cleveland economically makes sense. You're going to get possibly a Super Bowl there. You can do a lot of events there.
Another NFL draft
Bad
is going to
one.
come there.
Right, easily. Look at the one we had the draft there, and it rained and it was cold and it wasn't the biggest turnout in the world, But I love the stadium. I love being outside. It's just that element of football. But I've never watched a football game in a dome. Oh, well, I did watch one in New Orleans, the Superdome. But
I've never been in a dome.
yeah, and then
I
we
don't
went to,
think so.
we had a bus and we took a group out of Ashtabula, a couple buses, and we went up to Toronto and watched the Indians
I take that
play.
back. That's where I was.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Many years ago.
Yeah, I think it was called the Sky Dome at the
Yep,
time.
yep.
Yeah.
And I took my sons and we went, and that's the only time. But yeah, I think that just gives them a lot of options with that dome. It
All
really
right, Dave,
does.
let's get to the schedule.
All right.
I already made my picks. You know how everybody likes the schedule release? NFL makes a big deal. It's a whole TV program.
Yeah, yeah.
The schedule release comes out and everybody goes through the schedule, what we think we can win, what we think
Yeah.
we can lose. Never turns out the way it should, but
Not for me.
they always say you're gonna win a game that you're not supposed to win and you're
Yep.
gonna lose the game that you're not supposed to lose.
Right.
That's for granted.
It's hard
they
to
say.
predict those, yeah.
First 2 weeks are on the road this year.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to wait a little while before you go to a
Three,
game.
yeah.
You're gonna spend 2 weeks in Florida, at Jacksonville and at Tampa Bay. How do you see those games right now?
I see 2 losses personally.
Okay,
That's just my opinion.
okay. You got
I'm
Trevor
hoping-
Lawrence
I'm
and you got
hoping
Baker
better.
Mayfield.
Well, I'm not looking at the quarterbacks per
What are you
se.
looking at?
But,
Beautiful weather,
Jacksonville,
made the playoffs,
down in that area.
right?
Yeah,
As did Tampa.
yeah, and I think they're going to have a hard time because those teams. Now I think Tampa kind of dropped towards the ends of the year.
Yes.
And I
Baker came down to earth a little bit.
Baker
little
Mayfield
bit.
is a good quarterback.
Yes, he is. He is.
He's not a great quarterback.
No. A little cocky, but
never
good.
going to be a great quarterback. But he's a good quarterback.
Small guy.
Yeah, he's a small guy. He's got a big heart.
Yeah.
That's why he's going to get hurt a lot. But I see the Browns. I think they're going to play a closer game with Tampa than they will with Jackson.
So you got him 2 losses. I put a split
Yeah.
there, by the way.
Yeah.
I took the win at Jacksonville and then losing at Tampa.
Mhm.
Home openers against Carolina, another playoff team.
Another playoff
They
team.
surprised everyone. So your
What?
first 3 opponents, actually your first 4 are playoff
Yeah,
teams.
I just can't.
What do you see in the home opener?
I can't see losing to Carolina. I don't care how good they are.
So you got to win. I got to win there too.
Yeah, I got to win.
They've been doing decent in the home openers
Oh,
after
yeah.
a stretch where they couldn't win a home opener.
I've been to many of them.
Yeah. Pittsburgh on a Thursday night on Prime,
Where are they playing?
home.
Home. Cleveland's going to beat Pittsburgh.
We usually do.
Yeah,
There.
yeah.
I got that too as a win.
Yeah.
At the Jets.
The Browns have going to be better. The Jets are going to be a lot better. That's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a close game, but I like Cleveland.
I like Cleveland there, and the only reason I like Cleveland, because everything you said about that game is true, but they're gonna have a little extra rest.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I
Oh,
like
that's
about that.
right. Yep.
Yeah. Baltimore then comes in.
You know, we usually beat Baltimore in Baltimore.
Yeah, we
I don't know
split
if
with
you
them
know
all the
that,
time.
yeah.
It seems that way,
But they
yeah.
beat us at home, and we usually beat them.
Yeah, well, this is home.
This is a home game. I don't think Baltimore is as good as they used to be. I see us winning that game.
So you got them on a 4-game winning streak after dropping the first
Well,
two.
Possible.
Boy, if they win 4 in a row, we're gonna start
Well,
printing
that's right.
playoff tickets.
Well, Super Bowl. Yeah.
After that, they go to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
That's one of those winnable games.
Winnable. Yep, I got them winning that. Yeah.
Okay. I do too. By the way, I had them losing at home to Baltimore.
Sure.
Then they go back to Pittsburgh where they never win.
They'll never, no, they'll lose that game.
What is it about that place?
I don't,
Outside of that big
I've-
playoff win a
I've
few
been
years
to,
ago.
I've been to one of actually took my sons and a group, and we went to a
That's painful.
Cleveland-Pittsburgh game in Pittsburgh, and as much as I hate to say, those people are really great fans. That place is pumping. They've got
Yeah,
those stupid towels.
Yellow towels.
And I'll tell you what, it's intimidating. It
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
That's truly, Pittsburgh, Cleveland is truly who's the home team. They're
Yep,
probably going to win
That's
it.
what I think. Yeah.
Then they go to New Orleans. That's another winnable game.
It's winnable. I don't have them winning.
Okay, you have them losing that one?
Yeah.
All right. And any reason why?
Well, I think, depends on, Penix is their quarterback. He was hurt last year. Who did they pick up this year?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person.
You don't know. They picked. Okay.
No, I can't know everything, Dave.
No, I know. No, but I'm just saying. I think
I just
think-
follow my local teams.
I like Michael Penix because he's left-handed quarterback. I'm left-handed, and I have a little
I didn't
favor
know
to
that.
that. Yeah, a little favoritism towards that. I just think that they've got a great defense there too. I'm just not sure if we can run the ball against them. That's the key. Yeah.
First time in almost 50 years, Dave. The next 4 games are all at home.
Mm-hmm.
In a row, separated by a bye week, of course. Houston Texans are the first one in.
I don't see them winning that.
So you got them on a 3-game losing streak now. I don't see them winning that game either.
No.
Then Las Vegas comes in. They got a new QB now,
Well,
right?
yeah, but
Or
you
no?
talk about
The Raiders.
Mendoza.
Yeah.
Mendoza won't start.
Oh, you don't think so?
No,
He won the national championship.
that doesn't mean anything. I don't believe he starts. They picked up,
The Raiders win here for some reason.
but who's the quarterback that they picked up? Is a veteran quarterback. The hell is his name?
Somebody's backup?
No, he started for. Boy, see, you should have told me.
Cousins?
Could have
No.
looked this up. No. Oh my goodness. I think the Raiders are going to win.
So you got them on a 4-game losing
For
streak.
some reason, they run the ball. I mean, they had, what was it, the running back, and I think he had like a career 300 and some yards against us, and I think he only had 300 for the year. And I mean, they run the ball really well. They have a good line. Their defense is decent. I don't see us winning that game. As much as I'd like to see it,
I have a win there, and I just said Raiders seem to win here. Always close, and they always seem to
I
win
know
at the
they
end.
do. That's
Bengals are coming to town
I see us beating the Bengals.
right after the bye week, so you'll have
Yeah,
rest.
right. I see them beating the Bengals.
Okay, I do too. Then Atlanta's here with Kevin Stefanski making a return.
I
What
don't.
kind of reception will he get?
Well, I don't. They're not gonna cheer for him. I don't believe. You know.
Do you think they'll boo?
Oh, I think they boo. Yeah, they'd boo God if he walked down the field if he was on the other team. Okay, but Cleveland, those fans.
They're loyal, I know.
I'm telling you, they're
know.
loyal and they don't
I know.
care. You know, but
I know.
no, I see us winning that game.
Okay, I do too.
All right, how many wins do we have?
You're up to 7 right now.
All right, because I've got them winning 8. in my
All right,
brain.
at New York Giants.
New York Giants.
They're going to be improved.
Let me tell you what, Harbaugh's a coach.
Yep. I didn't even think about that, but that's
Yeah.
right.
Harbaugh's the coach.
He knows the Browns.
Yeah, let me tell you what, that's the key. He coached against the Browns. He knows the weak points. They have Jackson Dart. He's a pretty darn good quarterback. Mobile quarterback. We don't do very well against mobile quarterbacks. They've got a pretty good running game. Do you know who Scattaboo is? Did you ever hear of Scattaboo? All right. Well, you haven't watched the
Who is it?
Giants. Well, this kid come out, I think it was Arizona or Arizona State.
Do you ever hear of him, Bob? No.
Yeah, look him up. Seriously.
Scattaboo.
Yes, he was a rookie last year, did very well. He ended up getting injured, but that kid is really a difference maker. They did draft got another running back too, but they're
Win or
going to.
loss? New York Giants in New York. Second trip to New York.
I think they're going to lose that. I
I
hate
do
to
too.
say
I
it.
have that loss
Yeah,
there too.
I know.
Then they go to Baltimore, where you said they seem to win.
I think they're going to win in Baltimore.
But do we? This is the first time I remember going there late in the year.
Right.
Really late.
Yeah. I think they're gonna win.
You think you're going to win that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the final home game is against the Colts.
Colts, much improved.
This is one team I'd rather play at home than on the road.
Me too.
They play good in that dome.
And they seem to be able to run the ball against us. I always remember them. They've got a good offensive line. They got a decent defense. I got us losing that game.
And then close out, seems like every year, at Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I think they lose that.
All right, Dave, let's see what you got here. You
Should
got
be 8-10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-game winning streak, followed by a 4-game losing streak. 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 8 wins. You got.
That's what I'm thinking. Now
So
you
you go 8 and 9, right?
8 and 10, 18 games, right?
17 games.
Is it 7, 18? Isn't it?
Maybe 17.
17 games.
17.
18 weeks, but 17
18.
games.
All right, whatever.
So you got them 8 and 9. You're not going to believe what I have them at.
What?
10 and 7. How did that happen? Here's what I have them losing. I have them losing at Tampa Bay. I have them losing home to Baltimore. I have them losing at Pittsburgh. I have them losing home to Houston. I have them losing back-to-back games at the Giants and at Baltimore.
Mhm.
And I have them losing at Cincinnati.
Well, the whole key is, I'm going by, looking at the teams that they play.
I'm going to
Professional
keep this, by the way.
professional sports,
Scorch.
Yeah.
So
Like college
unpredictable.
sports, it's all about matchups.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
that you're better than this team or that team. It's
It
the
is.
matchups. Because
It
you'll
is.
see some of these teams, you'll say, how can they beat this team? How
It
can they
is.
beat? And it's matchups. It's how do you match up against that team? That's the difference. I mean, I'm serious. I've watched this, and there's just certain teams that you can't beat, and there's certain teams that you have their number, and it doesn't make sense.
All right, let's close with the Guardians. Your thoughts? How could Tanner Bybee not have a win?
Well,
And we're late in month, and almost, 50 games in here almost.
that's sad.
And they're in first place,
Yep,
just barely above 500.
right.
Thank goodness they're in the division they're
This
in.
week, yeah.
And Detroit's off to a slow start.
Right.
But if you were to tell me Tanner Bybee does not have a win, he's 0-6. He's pitched well his last 2 teams. They don't score for him.
No. Well, who does that remind you of? Who was their ace before? He's in Toronto.
Oh, Bieber. Yeah.
Look at Bieber. How many
Yeah.
how many one-run games he
They don't
lost?
score for him. Yeah.
They didn't score for him either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing. But he's going to get his share. Let's face it.
Well, let's
He's-
hope.
he's gonna get
They're
on
going
a
to need
roll.
him to win games.
He is. I mean, he's going to do his part. But our lineup, we're starting to get a little fear factor in there with some of these guys now. Chase DeLauder.
I think the lineup is better than last year.
Manzano, yeah, they've got some of these young guys. They've got some pop in the bat,
Quan and Ramirez are killing them right now.
Yeah.
2 of the guys you count on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think Quan needs to be taken out of the leadoff spot until he gets straightened up.
He should. Yeah.
Because he's got to get on base.
Yeah,
He's the one that
that's-
ignites an inning.
Yeah. Without him, I mean, that guy. I mean, because he gets on base, he's going to be on second.
I find myself picking on him the most for some reason when I'm on making my posts and stuff, but
Well, I noticed.
he's just, I don't know.
No.
He takes so many strikes. If you ever notice the first pitch of the
He
ball
never
game,
swings it back.
I think these pitchers know
Yeah.
it, so they throw it right down the
He
middle.
never- and he's done that forever.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
they get
anything-
ahead of him.
It's not anything different. But he's been disappointing.
Is the move to center field a reason?
I don't know, but he should be able to play any of those outfield positions.
Why doesn't he bunt his way on?
Yeah. Well, that's
Try to break up the.
that's managing and coaching. Because I coached baseball for years, and I loved coaching. I love it more than I do watching. And I had some really strong hitters, and we had some good teams. We really did. And guys would get in a slump, and I just wanted them to make contact. And I had 4 guys in a row bunt in an All-Star game once, and it got them confidence, because they're making contact, they're running to first base, not a swing and a miss or a little dribbler. That generates a lot with his speed. If he can get that bunt down third baseline, I don't think they're going to get him.
The two of them, they're going to hit.
Yeah,
I mean, their track records show that they're going to hit.
but it's
But I'd rather it be sooner than later. I
right.
mean, we're
And you
getting
can't have
into
them.
June
You
here.
can't have them both not hitting at the same
No,
time.
and the last couple games are batting 1-2 in the lineup.
Yeah. Well, as a manager, it's tough to pull. You got your 2 All-Stars. You're not going to pull them out of
Dave,
there.
it's the pitching that keeps them winning.
Oh yeah,
They don't score a lot of runs.
Gavin Williams. He's
Tonight,
what a great year. He's
6-10 first pitch.
yeah. I see that.
Terry Francona 6-1 against the Guardians since he took over as Reds manager. We dominated Cincinnati until he came over there.
How many times they made the playoffs?
Oh,
Cincinnati.
not very often.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I got words about Terry Francona, but I don't want to say them. He's not one of my favorite people
I'll say it. He's not
anymore.
one of mine either because he
I
gave up
like the
here.
guy. But the thing is, he says because of health reasons. I remember the
Yeah.
health reasons I have to step down. Then
Yeah.
he goes to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I think it was more than that. I think he was upset about a trade they made at
Had to
midseason.
been something.
Yeah.
But at least say that. Just say, hey, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to do. Don't say health reasons and then all of a sudden you come
Right.
back and you're coaching.
Right.
To me, and I always liked the guy. He was one of my favorite managers, but not anymore.
Dave, you did good. Great interview. Want to thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Easy talking to you, Chuck.
Is it?
Yeah.
Tell this guy that.
Who, Shackles?
Yeah. He gives me a hard time all the time.
Well, you're a scorch, though.
I don't think he knows what that means. You'll have to explain to him when we
Scorch?
get off the air.
Yeah, we got a phone. He can Google it. But
Thank you.
no, it was a pleasure.
Go Browns, go Cavs, go Guards.
Well,
Cavs are going to win Sunday.
Yep.
I think the Guards are going to win the division, and I think the Browns are going to win 10 games.
I hope you're right.
I
That's
hope
all
I'm right
can
on all
say.
3.
I hope.
Thanks.
Thank
Dave
you.
Anthony today on Around the Town with Chuck.